Oh, hi guys!
Oh, hi Mark.
In this video I'm going to be talking about my film developing process.
I've been waiting such a long, long time for you to realize.
So let's get right into it. The supplies you'll be needing are bottles for your chemicals, a C41 developing kit, I'm using this one by Cinestill, a changing bag or completely dark room with no light coming in, gloves, scissors, can opener, funnels, a developing tank, I use the Patterson developing tank, thermometer, binder clips or something to hang your film to dry with, dust wipes, these are kind of optional, a bucket or large container, a binder to hold your negative sleeves, and negative sleeves to organize your film into, a timer, I just use my phone, and obviously your film. Everything I have here is going to be linked in the description below. First things first, I'm marking my chemical bottles. I also marked the top of each lid to make it easier to differentiate each chemical. This C41 kit no longer comes with a stabilizer, but you can buy it separately on Cinestill's website. Stabilizer is optional, but it helps to preserve your film, especially if you're shooting old expired rolls, and it also helps to prevent mold and water spots from drying on your film. If you are using a different developing kit than mine, then be sure to follow the instructions for yours. Cinestill used to include a little cheat sheet card with their chemicals, but I don't think they do that anymore, at least not the last couple of times that I've purchased it. So I've just been holding on to this one because it's super useful to have. They do have this chart on the instruction booklet and on their website as well. It's basically just a condensed version of the instructions, but it also includes a chart of the developing times for several different temperatures your chemicals are at. You will need a large container or beaker to mix the chemicals together in. You will also need a measuring cup that measures in milliliters or a scale like I'm using, and it is best to use distilled water for this if you can. First we are mixing the developer. Pour 600 to 700 milliliters of water in your container. Then while stirring, begin pouring in the contents of the packet marked Part A. You want to stir this pretty well. Then while you're stirring, top off the mixture with water to make 1000 milliliters total. Once you're done, just pour this into your developer chemical bottle. Next we're mixing the blix. This one's a little more complicated. There is two parts to this process. Make sure you clean out your mixing container well and then fill it with 600 to 700 milliliters of water again. Begin circulating the liquid and add Part A of the blix packet. Stir well, then transfer over to your chemical bottle, and from here you are going to add Part B to the mixture. Be careful doing this because it creates an endothermic reaction and will probably bubble over out of your container, but it helps if you just pour the powder in slower. You could also just do this in your other larger container. I don't think it really matters. I kind of forgot, or else I would have done that. And it's definitely best to wear gloves for this. I didn't because I completely forgot. So now you're going to pour the liquid back and forth from the bottle to your mixing container a couple times. Top off with water to make 1000 milliliters while stirring, and then pour back into your chemical container. These chemicals are said to last about 8 to 12 weeks or 24 rolls, but you can definitely get more use out of them if you store them properly. Just keep them in a dark closet. I usually just keep mine under my bathroom sink. Lastly, I'm going to mix the stabilizer. This one's easy. You just pour the stabilizer in, start mixing, and top off the solution with water to make 1000 milliliters. Now that our chemicals are mixed, I'm going to put my film in a developing tank. You have to do this in total darkness or else your film will be ruined. I'm using a dark bag here that works pretty well, but there isn't a lot of room in there, so if you're a beginner it might be a little difficult. You can also just use a completely dark room or a closet and just make sure no light is coming in from under the door, through a window, etc. Feel free to watch this a few times before you do it yourself, or better yet, sacrifice a roll yourself and practice with that, although in this day and age I know that's much easier said than done. You will need to use a can opener to open your film canister. It's important important you don't cut yourself doing this. To avoid using a can opener, you can either use a film retriever tool to get the film lead out of the canister, or if you shoot with a manual SLR, you can wind back the film only so far that there's still a little bit of the film left out of the canister. Once the canister is open, cut the film lead off so it's easier to load onto the reel, and then add the film to your reel like so. If you hear any weird noises, cracking, or it seems like your film isn't advancing on the reel, it may be stuck, so take it off and try again. Patience is key here. Once your film is on the reel, be sure to put it back on the holder, then put it into the tank. Next, put the top funnel on and turn until it clicks. The tank is now light tight and you can turn your lights back on. First step in developing is to pre-rinse your film. This helps warm up the film and get rid of any loose dirt or dust on the negatives. There's several different ways to get your chemicals up to temperature. I put them in this bucket and fill up the bucket with hot water until they're up to the temperature that they need to be at. Some people use like a foot bath. Cinestil has this like temperature fancy gadget on their website that I've heard works really well. I've never tried it, but those are some options. Check your temperature. I always reference this little cheat sheet for this, but the ideal temp is 102 degrees. Here my developer was at 101 degrees, so I developed for 3.5 minutes. Agitate for the first 10 seconds, then every 30 seconds after, do 4 inversions. You can agitate using the agitation stick like I do, or put the lid on the tank and do 4 inversions, rotating the tank back and forth, not too fast. Before time is up, get your funnel and blix ready. Pour out the developer and pour in your blix, then set your timer to 8 minutes and start agitating immediately for 10 seconds, then every 30 seconds thereafter for 4 inversions. Once you're done, pour your blix back into the container and start to rinse your film. After the blix, your film isn't light sensitive anymore, so you can take it out of the container and look at it if you would like. But the next step is to rinse your film. Rinse for about 3 minutes under running water. Last step is a stabilizer. Pour it in the tank, agitate for 15 seconds, then let it soak for up to a minute. When done, pour out the stabilizer and do not rinse after the stabilizer. Now you can hang your film up to dry. I usually hang them in my bathroom like this. Basically, you want them to be away from any dust or dander in the air. In the past, I've just hooked some binder clips to my shower curtain rings and hung them that way, but a while back my friend Matt Hooker sent me some 3D printed hooks to hang my film on, and they work great, so I've just been using those. Thanks, Matt, by the way. They're pretty awesome.
Thanks.
I also put a binder clip on the end of my film so it dries straight and doesn't curl. Then I wipe the film with one of these dust wipes to get any loose dust or dog hair off of them. Once they are completely dry, I cut them into strips and put them into negative sleeves that I keep in a binder. I also write the film, date, camera, or any other info I want to remember at the top to try and stay organized. And then you're ready to scan. Woohoo! That's it. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll try my best to answer. The instruction pamphlet that Cinestil includes with the kit also has a bunch of information on it, so be sure to read that as well. Let me know if you guys want to see a video of how I scan my film. That's still a bit of a work in progress. I haven't perfected that yet, but I can go over my current process if you want to see it, so let me know. And that's it. See you guys later. Bye.